Well, good day, viewers. Today we have a 2012 Grand Caravan. VIN code is a C, so I believe that's a 12. And it was brought here because the battery indicator light is on. So before we connect the scan tool and see what codes it's set, we're going to see if it's actually charging. It started fine. It was sitting for a couple of days. They drove it here, so it may be charging still, and there may be something wrong with the battery temp sensor or something less serious. Well, I guess it probably needs an alternator unless the belt's missing. Can't see the pulleys. Well, we'll have a look. So I did confirm that serpentine belt is on there. Now there's a one-way clutch on the alternator, and that could be slipping, but usually when it slips it makes noise. So I'm loading the vehicle history because I've worked on this vehicle before, not recently. It's got 136,000 kilometers on it, not very many for a 2012. And as the battery voltage was dropping there while it was running, it started turning on all kinds of warning lights. So I'm sure we got a bunch of low voltage codes and loss of communication codes. Generator voltage sense circuit, implausible data received from ESP, battery voltage low, generator field control circuit open. Charging system output low, lost comm with steering column controls. I think that's steering column module. Auto stick circuit low, generator voltage sense circuit, implausible data, battery voltage, generator field, system voltage, loss of battery voltage. So you got lots of confirmation that the circuits are low voltage. I've got a battery charger on it now, set at 13.6 volts. Has it finished the scan? Not yet. I'm concerned about this P0623A. I'm sorry, no, not that one. The P0622 generator field control circuit open. I did have one where the wiring or the computer was all corroded because it's in the left front wheel well of all places. So we've got a record of all these codes. So we're going to go back and clear all codes, read by code scan. And I'm curious of whether that generator field control circuit code returns. If I recall correctly, this one's power side controlled by the ECM or PCM. So you can check continuity through the alternator by just putting an ohm meter across the two wires going to the field circuit, because there's no regulator in these alternators. It's computer controlled with no transistors in the alternator at all, as far as I know anyways. It's probably going to need an alternator, more than likely. Which doesn't look like a fun job. That took a long time for 10 controllers. Let's go back into the engine. And let's just read codes and see if it's set a code yet. Not yet. And then we might be able to command the charging system field circuit on and off. Alternator field duty cycle. Now if we disconnect the connector on the alternator and put a test light across there, like a 194 bulb, you should see it get bright and dim. I'm just curious of whether commanding the field on and off set a code, because if it did, then our problem is present right now. Interesting. Well, we're going to have to look at this alternator and see what it's like to access. So I started the van and moved it so that I can set it up on the hoist, because I'm hoping I can get access to the wiring at the alternator from underneath, because I can't get it from the top. And in that short distance of 6 feet when I drove it, it set the P0622 code. So we're going to test the wiring to the alternator. So here's a look at the electrical circuit. The two wires, the two small wires going to the alternator, one is a generator field source. So it's power side controlled. So it's a B circuit regulator concept where it supplies power to the field, and the field is grounded internally. The second wire is the generator sense wire. So we're going to put a load test on this B plus wire with a headlight right at the alternator. That's live all the time. And we're going to put a smaller test light in this generator field control wire and then try to duty cycle it. I'll show you where this stuff is. So you can actually see the connector, and I've got it unplugged, and I've got the cap off the battery cable on the alternator. You're going to load test that. So there's the 2-wire plug, and it's the brown one, which is on the right hand side. Yeah. Now, the computer lives up here in the inner fender. I had one that was corroded right through, and that's what I ended up replacing, was the ECM, not the alternator. Of course, the customer had already changed the alternator, which doesn't look fun. Maybe if you take the AC pipes off, it will come down out of this area here. It certainly won't go up, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So I've got the headlight, and I've got it grounded all the time, and I'm going to touch the output post of the alternator, and it lights up a 4-amp headlight, so it's definitely not open. There's a fusible link in that circuit, or a maxi fuse in that circuit, but sometimes gets corroded or burnt if somebody boosts the vehicle backwards. So now we're going to connect the test light across that control wire. Okay, so I got the test light connected to the brown wire and a good ground on the exhaust pipe. And I'm going to go into the bidirectional tests. And I'm going to command it on 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%. That's as far as it'll go, is 50%. So the circuit is working. I suppose we should qualify that generator field sense wire. I wonder how to qualify that. So I looked through the engine data list, and I could find 2 data parameters, one voltage sense and the other one target charging system voltage. And both of them are indicating normal, and I've got that wire disconnected. I couldn't find any data parameter related to the charging system sense. So I'm going to look at the troubleshooting chart for it, believe it or not, and see if there's a hint as to why. I could disconnect the ECM, but I don't want to screw around with the connectors at the ECM unless I have to. So I'm on Identifix. I did a keyword search for P0622, and this particular case here says check battery voltage on the output terminal, which I've done. This is direct battery feed. Disconnect the 2-pin connector from one terminal on the alternator, should have B+, and the other should have 0 volts. Jumper 12 volts to the terminal on the alternator. With no voltage on it, this terminal goes to the alternator field. So you can full field it by supplying power to that, but it's very difficult to get to. So if I could get in there with the test light and see if I have, but that doesn't tell me that that wire's good. But I could full field the alternator, and if it doesn't charge, then it needs an alternator. The alternator sense circuit should have 3.5 volts less than the voltage across the battery when the powertrain control module is connected and powered up. This wire is used for diagnostic purposes. There is a lot of incorrect information on this circuit. Well, isn't that special? Alternator sense circuit should have 3.5 volts less than the voltage across the battery when the PCM is connected and powered up. Well, I suppose we could measure that. I gather that means disconnected at the alternator. So that's the voltage measured on the wire at the alternator connector. Disconnected. It's next to impossible to get in there and touch that terminal. I really don't want to screw with these wires up here at this computer. Suppose I could watch this while I wiggle it. I'm moving the wires at the ECM. It did change there for a second. 0.1, oh, that's 0.013. So I think we're just going to call the alternator and roll the dice. So I think the best thing to do is to confirm that wire. So it goes to pin 2, connector 2, C2, 2, and it is a red-violet wire. So which is connector 2? I don't want to disconnect both of them. So let's go to connector views. We can see the colors of the connector. One's gray and one's black. Let's try PCM. Oh, it should be in my scan tool. C1. Power to C1, C1, C1. C1. C2. I just want to know what color it is. It is black. One was gray, one was black. Pin 2 says ground on here. That's diesel. Oh my gosh. I hate when you ID the vehicle and year, make, model, and engine, and it pulls up wrong stuff anyways. Pay attention to the... Well, how are you supposed to know which one is which? Color brown. Outer housing black. Pin 2 is generator field control. I'm going to look around. So it's connector 2 of pin 2 at the alternator, but it's actually connector 2 pin 40 at the generator. So I did have the right diagram the second time through. And it's a brown connector. Connector views. PCM. So it's this second, because this is a 3.6, it's a third page, so it should be this one. Color brown, outer housing black. So pin 2 is the field control, and pin 40 is the generator sense. I'm going to see if I can figure out which one is connector 2. So I know ohmmeter testing is not perfect, but it's pretty close. Continuity of that wire from pin 40. This is 48. So we count into 40 to that orange wire at the alternator, and it's 0. So I'm confident that the alternator has failed. So that's the upper rad hose off. I just drained it into a large catch pan underneath. We'll rinse it off after. Use a serpentine belt wrench to release the tensioner and take the belt off. There's one 13 mil nut right down there on the side of the alternator, and then 2 bolts on the top here, and maybe there's one on the bottom. I haven't disconnected the electrical connector yet. I might have to take this VVT solenoid out just to sneak it up through here. I'm going to leave this until the very end in case I can just flex this a little bit to get it out. So it does come out of there, right out through this corner here. And you can just pull this over slightly when you're pulling it up through here. Take that VVT solenoid, disconnect the harness, and disconnect the clips on the harness on the valve cover. And there's just barely enough room to get it out of there. So we're going to clean up the electrical terminal and install the new alternator. Now, moment of truth. Battery warning light is on. And it's off. We're going to check the charging system voltage with the voltmeter and fill the cooling system now. So it is charging at 14.4. I did recharge the battery last night. Trickle charged it, so it's fully charged. Let's have a look at the diode ripple. And that looks reasonable. Those vertical voltage spikes are caused by the regulation of the charging system. So, other than filling the cooling system, I did fix that ground strap down there. I put a homemade ground strap from the bolt to the bolt. I don't think that's that critical anyways. I'm going to fill the cooling system and we're good to go. Thanks for watching.